That game lasted about 7 minutes, which is fortunate because someone decided to break into the Frost Beach Row and tried to steal some money. Why not just work for money and find something else to do? That's crazy because it completely messes up your entire life, including your mental health. Oh, you thought Kirk, Frost, and Jasmine were done with the drama, but no, baby. This story is about to blow up because just when you... Word on the street is that Kirk recently filed for full custody of their son, Cannon, and Jasmine. Oh, sis, did not take it well. Witnesses are saying that Jasmine showed up at Kirk's house unexpectedly, screaming at the top of her lungs and breaking things. As if things couldn't get any messier, Jasmine decided to make sure they did. Reports are coming in that Kurt's house was attacked, and guess who's at the center of the chaos? Jasmine. Trust me, baby, the way it went down is straight out of a reality TV script. Furniture and even threatening Kirk directly, and it didn't end there. Oh no, security was allegedly called, and the fallout is going to get really ugly. So what made Jasmine lose it? Why did Kirk decide to take full custody of Cannon? And most importantly, what will happen next? Oh honey, you better stay locked in because the TM is going to spill, baby. Kirk and Jasmine have had their share of ups and downs, but this most recent blow-up is about to change everything. So let's take a moment to look back and explain how we got here. Trust me, this isn't just a fight. It's years of resentment, betrayal, and manipulation boiling over. And now it's all playing out for the world to see. And when I say messy, I mean reality TV. Producers are probably sitting at home taking notes. You already know that their relationship has never been stable. Jasmine first gained notoriety when it was revealed that she had fed a child with Kirk while he was still married to Rashida. Oh, you remember that scandal, the one that essentially set love and hip-hop Atlanta on fire? Kirk was out here playing house with Jasmine behind Rashida's back, and when the truth was revealed, Rashida was humiliated on a national level. Fathering a child with Jasmine was a whole new level of disrespect, and somehow, despite the betrayal, Rashida stayed. However, after Cannon was born, things only got worse, and Jasmine started requesting more money from Kirk than just standard child support. CS wanted luxury child support, which included paying for private school tuition, designer clothes, and enough money to ensure that Cannon was living like a celebrity baby, and Kirk, oh no, he wasn't having it. Fast forward to the present, where Kirk and Jasmine have been arguing over custody for years. Kirk has always had limited visitation rights with Cannon, and Jasmine made sure to maintain that. Whenever Kirk attempted to see his son, Jasmine would show the receipts, threatening to reveal more of Kirk's shady behavior if he didn't comply. Kirk, oh Kirk, tried to be nice for a while until Jasmine started acting inappropriately, according to people familiar with the matter. According to insiders, Kirk finally had enough of Jasmine's alleged manipulation of him using Cannon. When he saw his son demanding more money and even threatening to leak more information about Kirk's personal life, Kirk decided that the only way to protect Cannon and regain control of the situation was to file for full custody, not joint custody, not extended visitation, and asked to have Cannon taken away from Jasmine permanently. And when the news broke online, everyone was shocked. According to sources, Jasmine lost it when the court papers were filed. She was totally taken aback by Kirk's decision, and when I say that she lost it, I mean it. Jasmine allegedly began calling Kirk constantly, leaving him threatening voicemails, sending him angry texts, and even showing up at Frost Beach demanding to see him. But Kirk, oh Kirk, was finished and wasn't responding. When Jasmine reportedly showed up at Kirk's house late on a Saturday night, unannounced and unhinged, witnesses say she was screaming at the top of her lungs and banging on the front door as if she was trying to break it down. Kirk, on the other hand, didn't open the door, but Jasmine wasn't about to leave that easily because the guest was there. Jasmine couldn't handle the calls, he wasn't answering her texts, and he had officially cut her off. She then allegedly approached Kirk's car, the same luxury SUV he had purchased the previous year, and began keying it. When Kirk wasn't looking, Jasmine allegedly grabbed a brick and threw it through the front window. If you think that's bad, it gets worse because the security cameras allegedly recorded everything as soon as Jasmine broke the window. And let's just say the footage is not flattering. While holding Cannon in her arms, she was caught on camera yelling Kirk's name and threatening to ruin his life if he didn't come outside. The most bizarre part is that she dragged Cannon into the mess as well. Jasmine allegedly screamed, "You're not taking my son away from me, you hear me?" over my dead body, and Kirk eventually opened the door, but not to calm her down. No, baby. He did so to call security. Witnesses claim Kirk's security guards arrived and attempted to get Jasmine to leave, but Jasmine wasn't going to back down. She allegedly tried to push past security and enter the house, but the guards blocked her way. At that point, Jasmine reportedly lost it. She began punching the guards, screaming, and kicking Kirk out. Kirk allegedly yelled, "You're out of control," and Jasmine allegedly fired back, "You think you can take my son from me?" over my dead body, Kirk. At that point, the neighbors had already begun congregating outside. People were filming with their phones. The paparazzi had already pulled up, and social media was going crazy. Hashtag Jasmine's loss was trending within minutes, and when the police finally arrived, it was game over. The video of Jasmine being led away in handcuffs, however, went viral right away. Jasmine was reportedly screaming, "He's lying, he's trying to." While Jasmine was being loaded into the police car, witnesses claimed that Kirk leaned down and hugged Cannon, whispering, "It's okay, buddy, Daddy's got you." Because at the end of the live stream, Jasmine said, "Don't worry, when I get to court, I'm bringing the real receipts." Kirk, however, just stood there with his arms crossed and his head shaking as if he was over it. But the worst part was that Cannon was crying right there. Kirk Frost is seeking sole custody of his son, Cannon, due to the unstable and unpredictable behavior of the child's mother. Kirk's lawyer released a statement to TMZ less than an hour after Jasmine's live ended, stating that Kirk is committed to providing Cannon with a safe and secure environment. When the truth is revealed, you will see who the real villain is. Excuse me, what are the real receipts that Jasmine is talking about? Kirk wasn't having it. Didn't just let his lawyer speak. Instead, Kirk went straight to Instagram and shared a photo of himself and Cannon at a park with the caption, "My son comes first always." The comment said, "Oh, they were driving Jasmine while Jasmine was out here throwing bricks through windows." Kirk may have been messy in the past, but at this point, he appears to be the stable parent, and Jasmine needs to relax before she actually loses custody. The worst part is that while Jasmine was spiraling online, Kirk was already taking action behind the scenes. According to sources, Kirk's legal team has already requested a temporary restraining order to keep Jasmine away from him and Cannon until the custody hearing. However, when Jasmine showed up at Kirk's house the night before, she allegedly broke the terms of that order, which means that in addition to losing custody of Cannon, she may also face criminal charges. This custody hearing is the most bizarre part. Hasn't even begun yet, so the main question is whether Jasmine will actually recover from this or if she simply threw away any chance of keeping Cannon in her life. If Kirk's team has the receipts they say they have, and if Rod actually takes the witness stand, then yes, Jasmine may be done. But the drama is far from over because the custody hearing is set for next week, and you already know that the paparazzi will be present. Jasmine, you better hope Kirk doesn't have any more dirt to bill. As it appears, Kirk may be holding all the cards, and if you thought that things couldn't get any messier, then get ready for part 3, which is going to take things to a whole new level. After Jasmine's disastrous Instagram live, Kirk wasn't just watching the drama play out. No, he was making power moves behind the scenes, and the fallout, oh, it's going to get catastrophic. It's about to get messy. Kirk was up early, drinking coffee and browsing through the social media chaos after Jasmine's meltdown. Her live stream had received millions of views on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram, and the comments were incredibly savage. Jasmine had essentially admitted to using Kirk's money for personal expenses, so it's over for her. Kirk should call his lawyer and obtain full custody today. Jasmine truly believed that going live would help her case. but Kirk was. The fact that Jasmine acknowledged that Kirk had been sending her money for Kanan, but that she also used some of it for herself, is a major issue because Kirk's legal team can now claim that Jasmine was misusing child support funds, which could be used to destroy her in court. According to all the sources, Kirk was sitting there taking notes literally about everything Jasmine said during that live. Grounds for parental neglect, which is precisely what Kirk was going to use in court. According to an insider close to Kirk's team, Jasmine simply made Kirk's case much easier. All Kirk's lawyers need to do now is play it live in court, and suddenly Jasmine's credibility is gone. To make matters worse, Kirk's team has just subpoenaed Jasmine's ex to testify in the custody hearing. Oh, you're not prepared for this one. He's been Loki shading. For years, Kirk's lawyers caused him to lose it, and it seems that Rod is more than willing to spill the beans about Jasmine's parenting. According to one source, Rod has been tired of Jasmine for a while, seeing how unstable she is, and he's prepared to tell the court everything. When Jasmine learned that Rod was testifying against her, she reportedly lost it and called Rod 10 times in a row. When he finally answered, she yelled, "You're really G." After all we've been through, Rod allegedly said, "I'm doing what's best for Kanan," which is precisely what happened when Jasmine snapped. According to witnesses, Jasmine showed up at Rod's apartment later that day, banging on his door and screaming loudly enough for the neighbors to hear. Security was reportedly called to remove her from the building, and guess what? That small incident also made it into Kirk's legal filings. Jasmine is essentially handing. Kirk got this custody case off to a great start, but now things get even more twisted because just when you thought Jasmine couldn't make things worse for herself, she made the most reckless move. That same night, Jasmine showed up at Kirk's restaurant without warning with Kanan. Yes, after receiving a restraining order for going on a viral tirade and finding out that Rod was testifying against her. It seemed as though nothing had happened. Entered the restaurant with Kanan by her side, acting as though nothing had changed. According to witnesses, Kirk was sitting at the bar when he noticed her, and his expression changed instantly. He got up and approached her right away. "What are you doing here?" Kirk reportedly said, gritting his teeth, "I'm here to talk." Jasmine calmly replied, "We don't have anything to talk about." Kirk shot back, and Jasmine said, "Oh, she wasn't backing down. I'm not leaving until we talk." To maintain composure, but Jasmine was beginning to cause a scene. Kanan was standing there, looking perplexed, when Jasmine began to yell from the back of the police car. "You're going to regret this, Kirk. I promise you will," and social media was going crazy. Kirk actually just called the police on Jasmine, who was being arrested while Kirk hugged Kanan. This is some next-level drama, and the most absurd part was that Jasmine completely lost her mind. If you thought Jasmine's meltdown at Kirk's house was bad, you haven't seen anything yet because the internet went into full meltdown mode after Jasmine was taken away in handcuffs. Let's pick up where we left off because now that Jasmine is facing charges and Kirk is proceeding with his custody battle, things are going to get even messier, and baby, the fallout, oh, it's coming, and Jasmine, oh sis, is not ready for what's about to happen next. We were already split over the custody dispute, but after the video of Jasmine's arrest appeared on blogs, Twitter was ablaze, and let me tell you, people were not holding back. According to Jasmine, Kirk needed full custody at this point because she showed up at his house with a child and began breaking things. She obviously needed help, but why do I think Kirk might have forced her to do this? And the worst part is that the video of Jasmine being arrested wasn't even the worst. Oh no, because after the police report was released, the real story began to surface. According to the official report, Jasmine was accused of trespassing, destroying property, and resisting arrest. And that's not even the messy part. The report also revealed, oh honey, it verified that Kirk had already applied for a restraining order before Jasmine even arrived at the house. Yes, Kirk wasn't merely attempting to obtain custody of Kanan, he was actively working to keep Jasmine away from him and their son, and when the blogs revealed that information, people went crazy. One fan wrote, Kirk has been trying to get rid of Jasmine. Oh, this man had a plan. Another person wrote, Jasmine needs to sit down. If Kirk had a restraining order before she lost it, then she had been acting strangely for a while. However, this is where things get really messy because while Jazz was sitting in a holding cell attempting to understand how her life had gotten out of control, Kirk was already. Insiders claim that Kirk called his lawyer right away after Jasmine was arrested with the intention of filing for an emergency custody hearing. Yes, Kirk wasn't wasting any time. He was prepared to take Cannon away from Jasmine permanently, and given the way she acted at that house, he might actually have a case. Sources close to the matter say that Kirk's legal team is getting ready to argue that Jasmine is in. Kirk's team has allegedly already compiled a list of evidence, including Jasmine's erratic behavior over the past year, reports from neighbors about her screaming and fighting in front of Cannon, and evidence that she had been using child support payments for personal expenses, such as designer bags and spot trips. The worst part is that Kirk's lawyers are also planning to call Jason's ex as a witness. They have the receipts to support their claims that Jasmine is an unfit mother. It seems that Rod has been fed up with Jasmine for some time. According to sources, Rod has been telling people that Jasmine has been out of control for months and that he is prepared to testify that she has been manipulative and emotionally unstable toward Cannon. When the blog began to speculate that Rod might testify in court, Jasmine's team went into full swing. Oh, you remember Rod? That's the same Rod who helped raise Cannon and essentially stepped in as a father figure when Kirk was out here welding. Jasmine yelled, "Control mode, you're not taking my son from me." Kirk asked, "You started this, Kirk. Now you better finish it." Security had already begun to approach them, but Jasmine wasn't done. She moved closer to Kirk and said, "You think you've won? You think you're about to take Cannon from me? You don't even know what's coming next." And Kirk? Oh, he was done. He turned to the security guard and said, "Get her out of here," Jasmine began. "You can't do this to me. You can't take my son and Cannon," she screamed as security dragged her away from Kirk. Oh, poor Cannon was standing there crying as security dragged Jasmine out of the restaurant. Kirk reportedly approached his son and gave him a hug while Jasmine was still yelling outside. The worst part was that the entire incident was captured on camera as a curious customer in the restaurant pulled out their phone and filmed it. As you are already aware, the footage was posted online. Twitter exploded when the video showed Jasmine being dragged out by security while Kirk stood there with Cannon looking composed. Kirk appears to be a stable parent, but Jasmine appears unstable. This is not helping Jasmine's case at all, and I feel bad for Cannon because the baby doesn't deserve this drama. Kirk's team was thrilled because the footage essentially proves Kirk's case, which is that Jasmine is unstable, unpredictable, and a threat to Cannon's emotional well-being. Jasmine's essentially giving Kirk custody at this point is precisely what Kirk's lawyers needed. But the real kicker is that after the video went viral, Jasmine's lawyer reportedly dropped her as a client. Yes, Jasmine's own lawyer said, "Yeah, I'm out." It seems that Jasmine had been disobeying her lawyer's advice for weeks, showing up at Kirk's house and restaurant after receiving a restraining order. Yeah, that was the last straw, and Kirk was already celebrating, according to sources. The team is now attempting to have Jasmine declared mentally unstable, which would grant Kirk complete legal and physical custody of Cannon and Jasmine. Oh my goodness, she's going crazy. The following day, she returned to Instagram and wrote a lengthy, heartfelt caption that read, "They're trying to take my son from me. I'm not crazy. I'm a mother who loves her child." You guys don't know the whole story, but it might be too late at this point because the court hearing is quickly approaching and Rod is prepared to testify. The big question now is whether Jasmine will pull off a miracle and keep custody of Cannon, or if Kirk is about to walk away with full control over his son's future. Given Jasmine's meltdown and her live working against her, Kirk is about to win this case easily, but the drama is far from over because Jasmine isn't going down without a fight. According to sources close to her, she plans to drop her own legal bombshell in court, and if it's true, it could reveal some of Kirk's darkest secrets. has dirt on Kirk, so this may not end the way Kirk hopes. But one thing is certain, this custody battle is going to get even messier. Stay tuned because when the court date arrives, it will be explosive. The big question now is, will Kirk walk away with full custody, or does Jasmine have one last trick up his sleeve? What about Rod? Is he really going to take Kirk's side to court? This battle is far from over, honey. If you're prepared for the next exciting update, click the subscribe button and enable notifications. Do you believe Jasmine has a chance, or is Kirk going to win?